Yo, team, hope we are good. Just a quick Facebook Live, and I had this chat with one of my clients, Zara, who said I can post this video, and she asked me an amazing question, which was, how do you accept that you are actually doing really well, celebrate it, and not ruin it, and not self-sabotage? So Zara's lost an incredible amount of weight and inches over this last 4 weeks working with me. She's lost 6 to 7 kilos so far, which is a lot. And she's also lost a lot of inches and measurements off her size. And she said to me, look, Danny, I'm doing really well. I've lost 3 or 4 weeks in, but what I'm noticing is that I'm wanting to binge. I'm wanting to self-sabotage. And what she actually did one day, she went and had all this food, and it made her feel bad. And she self-sabotaged, she had absolutely everything. And she said, why did I do that? Why did I go back to my old you and my old self, and why did I couldn't stick to it? And hello Joe, hello Matt, hello Ben. And I said to her, I said, look, what is so important is that you still see yourself as the old you. You don't see yourself as a new version. Then you still see yourself as that overweight, that fat person. You don't see yourself as a lean fitness person. You still see yourself as that overworked person. So what's going to happen is you might do 3 weeks really well, you might do 4 weeks really well, and you might do 6 weeks really well, but eventually you're going to bring yourself back down to where you feel comfortable, because actually what you're doing is you're stepping out your comfort zone. This is a new you. This is all new to you, and your brain's going, shit, I don't like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you back to your normal self. Then you feel guilty and you're going through this vicious cycle. And this is what makes me laugh when people just say, oh yeah, it's just calories in, calories out. Let's just focus on diet. Let's just focus on training. Trust me, if you don't get your mind right first, you ain't going to constantly lose weight. You aren't going to get the body that you want over a 12, a 24, or a 48 week period unless you address your mind. And I said to her, look, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to change this. First of all, we've got to have a structure, and we've got to remind yourself daily of how well you're doing. So that's why for every single client that comes on board with us, we give them a nighttime and morning routine. The morning routine there is to set the state of mind and remind themselves of the goal and write down actually what they want. And the nighttime is there to reflect on how well they've done so far and to remind themselves of where they've come from. So they've got that working. Then what I always tell people is you change. Oh, and it's so important, by the way, to celebrate your little small wins. People don't celebrate the small wins. So if you went to the gym and you did 5 minutes or you did 20 minutes or an hour, celebrate the fact that you went to the gym. Celebrate the fact that you did your morning routine. Celebrate the fact that you did your nighttime routine, because what this progress does, this progress feeds you motivation to keep on going. So then you're like, right, cool, I'm going to do the next thing and the next thing. And progress makes you happy. So the more progress that you keep seeing, the better, and the more that you'll keep sticking to it. And this is a gradual thing. The process takes time. You ain't going to get a full transformation in 4 weeks and 12 weeks. It's going to take longer than that, especially if you've had 20 or 30 years of binge eating, yo-yo dieting, yo-yo training. It's going to take you a long amount of time. We can put the structure in place and give you the foundations, but it's actually about you applying that and sticking to it for a good amount of time. One of the next main things as well for you to be able to change and not self-sabotage is accountability. Having somebody that tells you, look, are you doing this on a daily basis? Have you stuck to what you've said? Have you kept the promises that you've said? So accountability is absolutely massive when it comes to this. Hello, Rory. Are you right, pal? And the next thing as well is, I always say, for you to change, you change through like association and environment. So if you've got someone that keeps you accountable, that's doing really, really well, or you aspire to, or you want to be, they're going to go, look, you're going to change through association. So let's say, for example, right, and this is where the term, you are the sum of the 5 people you're closest to. If you hang around with 5 millionaires, right, and you're earning £20,000 a year, you're soon going to elevate. You might not earn $1 million like what they are, or millions of what they've got, but you're soon going to take your level up, because you're through association, because you're going to adopt their habits, you're going to adopt their mindset, you're going to adopt everything that they're doing on a daily basis. And that's what I say to our clients, and that's why we've got accountability groups, and we post so much in our client Facebook group. And that's why we educate our clients so much. We don't just give them a food and a training plan, because we have to change them through association and through a change in their environment. Now, your environment is your people and your places. So let's say, for example, if your people around you are very negative, they don't believe in you, they don't believe that you can ever change, well, of course, you're never ever going to change. If you reached out and had some people that did believe in you and told you exactly what you could do and how to do it, trust me, you would put your all in and everything into it, because you would believe that you could change. And that's why it's so important to have the people around you that are supportive and aren't negative. And this also comes down to your places as well in your environment. So I had this chat with someone the other day, and we was talking about, and I put a post out about this a few months ago about binge eating. And if you're binge eating between 8 to 10 every single day, you need to change your environment. And that could be just not sitting in the living room. It could be sitting upstairs. Your environment is also the people that you're spending time with. And you need to be able to change these things if you want to get constant change and change for good. And that's what people don't look at. They just look at a diet plan and they just look at a training plan. But trust me, if you haven't sorted out your environment, you haven't sorted out your mindset, your daily habits, your routine, you will just fall back to your old self. And this is why it is so important to get all this addressed and worked on before you even look at your diet. And once you've got that sorted, the diet and the training feels so much easier. And this is the last point I'm going to touch on as well, that I think is massively, and I'll be straight with you right now. So when I used to diet for my fitness shows or for the photo shoots, I could do it. I could easily do it for 12 to 16 weeks. I could go hardcore. I'd do it. Then bam, what would happen? I would binge, and I'd go for 6 months of eating absolute shit. I wouldn't really train, but then I'd have 3 months of going, bam, let's do it hard again. And I didn't understand why or how to kind of change it. Then through education and through understanding my brain more and why I was doing it, it made it so much easier for me to stick to. So right now I live it as a lifestyle. I'm getting results, I'm changing, I'm currently dieting, and I'm seeing my body change on a daily basis. And it's exactly the same with our clients. So when our clients come in, we try and educate them on what's happening with the mind. We help them with this, we make them more self-aware. So what they're actually talking about, their own language that they're using and why they're doing things or why they've binged in the past. Now, when you're surrounded by and you're constantly listening to audiobooks or podcasts or videos or your mentor or someone you're accountable to drilling this home to you every single day, like I say, through association, you will change. And that's why it's so important. If you're still surrounded by bad people, you don't understand why you're doing things, you're still seeing just as a food plan and a training plan, you might do all right for 2 or 3 weeks, but you will soon back off. So the keys to not self-sabotaging is not going from 0 to 100 first of all. It is taking it one step at a time and build it into a lifestyle. The next thing is having someone that keeps you accountable, that understands why you're doing things. It is then being educated and understanding why you've done things and how to change it. The next is through association, so the people that you are surrounding yourself with. If you can change that, great, you will change for good. The next thing is your environment, so the people and the places that you spend your time in. If you change that, wow, you've got a bulletproof system there that's going to stop you from doing that. And by the way, this doesn't mean that you're never ever going to do it again. Of course you're going to be. People always think that fat loss is a linear thing. 12 to 16 weeks, you're going to get your results like this. It isn't. You're going to have speed bumps. You're going to go left and right. But that's all about learning. I had a chat with one of my clients at the weekend, and she went off track. She binged. I was like, look, cool. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. But what is the lesson from this? What can we learn from this? What can we implement? We learn the lesson. We understand why we did it. Bam, move on. As long as every lesson is an opportunity to change. So it's so important that you actually look at every time you binge and go, why did I do that? What was the reason? What was the pattern that caused me to do this? And when you can change that, you will change for good. So yeah, this was all coming on from a chat that I had last week with my client Zara. She said I could post this, and because she said it might help a lot more people. And this is a massive one I see all the time when people are losing weight. They'll lose weight amazingly for 3 or 4 weeks. And this is when it comes down to the shake and juice diets as well. Of course you're going to lose weight because you're eating fuck all. But what's going to happen is after 3 or 4 weeks, you've not looked at your mindset, you've not looked at your habits, your environment, your people that you surround yourself with, your daily routines or your mindset. So of course, that's just taken without the calories. Of course, you're going to fall back to your old self. So for you to get to a new self and a new level of thinking, you've got to elevate your level of thinking. Then when you do that, you will stick to your diet and you'll keep getting results. So I hope this video helps, guys. Let me know if there's any more topics that you want me to cover on. I'm going to do quite a lot more Facebook Lives in this group now. So yeah, just drop me a message and I'll get one covered for you. Thanks, team.